10 guns. Some cost thousands before you touch a single round, others look like smart buys that quietly become money traps the moment you fire them. This isn't a list of expensive firearms, it's a countdown of guns that train your wallet through ammunition. Broken proprietary parts, and resale values that never recovered. One firearm here was ranked so dangerous its own maker ordered owners to stop shooting it. Stay until number 1, it could change how you buy guns. Disclaimer: this video is based on publicly available sources. Prices and availability change constantly and may differ from what's shown here. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always follow applicable laws and safe firearm handling practices. Number 10. Smith & Wesson Model 500. Smith & Wesson built this revolver's frame from scratch because nothing else on the market could survive the pressure of its cartridge. That alone tells you what kind of gun this is. The Performance Center 10.5-inch Hunter carried an original MSRP around $1,500, with street prices near $1,350. New units today list above $1,800, and used models trade briskly between $1,400 and $1,500, meaning this revolver has held its value almost perfectly. So where's the pain? At the range, standard 500 rounds run $2.50 to $4 each, so a modest 50-round session tops $125, roughly what you'd pay to fire nearly 500 rounds of 9mm. Add specialized Magnum-rated optics and heavy-duty mounts, and you're looking at another $300 to $500 just to shoot it accurately. Plenty of indoor ranges won't even allow it. Owners who rarely fire it keep pristine, tradable guns. Skip the trigger time, and the Model 500 costs almost nothing beyond the sticker price. It lands at number 10 because its bleed is voluntary. The next gun makes buyers pay whether they pull the trigger or not. Number 9. Kriss Vector Gen 1. It looks like something out of a sci-fi film with an unconventional downward cycling bolt built to tame recoil. That novelty made the original Gen 1 Vector a must-have at launch, with an MSRP of $1,895 and street prices closer to $1,600. Buy a used Gen 1 today for $1,000 or $1,200 and you've only paid for half the gun. The original trigger was heavy and gritty, and the safety selector had an awkward, long throw. Kriss never fully fixed it. Instead, they built a paid G1 to G2 upgrade service, averaging $325 to $375 that owners are effectively forced into. Skip it and you're stuck with an outdated fire control group for good. There's a silver lining: the original 45 ACP Vector runs on cheap, plentiful Glock 21 magazines, keeping ammo costs reasonable at 40 to 50 cents per round. That's why it doesn't rank higher. The platform is fixable, just not for free. It sits at number 9 because secondary buyers discount offers to cover that looming upgrade bill. Our next gun trades an awkward trigger for a different kind of mechanical betrayal. Number 8. Desert Eagle Mark 19 in 50 AE. It's the most recognizable handgun in Hollywood, and it earns that fame honestly. The 50 AE Desert Eagle runs on a gas piston system borrowed from rifle engineering, not a typical pistol action. Original MSRP sat around $1,600, with street prices near $1,450. Specialty finishes now retail above $1,700, but the used market holds steady between $1,300 and $1,500, so depreciation is mild. The real cost lives at the ammo counter. Rounds run $2 to $3 each, making a 50-round session $125 or more. Magazines cost $45 to $55 apiece. And here's the surprise: firing cheap unjacketed lead bullets causes lead to shear off and clog the gas port, permanently turning your semi-auto into a single-shot gun. That usually means buying a completely new barrel to fix. A caliber conversion kit for cheaper .44 Magnum runs roughly $578, nearly a third of the pistol's price just to dodge ammo costs. At over 4.5 pounds, it's a range toy, not a carry gun. Its cinematic legacy keeps resale strong, which is why it only lands at number 8. The next entry demands a very different kind of commitment. Number 7. FN M249S. FN America managed something remarkable: a civilian legal version of the military's belt-fed squad automatic weapon. It launched in 2015 at an MSRP of $7,999, with street prices near $7,500. Today, the standard configuration's MSRP has climbed to $11,094, and completed sales land between $9,500 and $10,799, meaning early buyers have seen thousands in appreciation. The bullet itself is cheap, around 50 cents a round. The logistics aren't. Feeding a belt-fed gun means buying buying disintegrated links and either hand assembling them or paying a premium for pre-linked ammo. A single 200-round belt runs over $100 and disappears in minutes. Spare quick-change barrels cost roughly $650, and specialized bags and slings add hundreds more. Here's the catch: the manual explicitly warns that mixing belted ammunition with a standard 30-round magazine at the same time will cause serious damage. At over 17 pounds unloaded, it's exhausting to shoot offhand, and most ranges ban the rapid fire that's the entire point of owning one. Strong collector demand keeps it liquid, its saving grace. It ranks 7th because this entry price locks out nearly everyone, and the logistics punish everyone who gets in. Number 6. Kimber Solo Carry. It promised premium 1911-inspired pocket carry in 9mm. The original MSRP ranged from $747 to $904, with street prices near $650. Today it's discontinued, and used examples sell for just $350 to $450, nearly a 40% loss, driven largely by a reputation for unreliability. Here's the problem: the factory manual bans cheap practice ammunition outright, requiring premium 124 or 147 grain defensive loads to function reliably. That runs 80 cents to $1 per round, so a 100-round practice session costs $80 to $100, roughly double what a standard 9mm costs to shoot. Owners who ignored the manual and vetted cheap range ammo flooded Kimber with warranty returns. The surprise? Kimber's own manual mandates replacing the recoil spring every 1,200 rounds, a fraction of what most modern pistols get from one spring. Add a required break-in period using expensive hollow points, and running costs pile up fast. Followed to the letter, it's genuinely accurate and concealable, but that's the problem: the rules themselves are expensive. It ranks 6th because keeping it fed costs wildly more than what the gun is worth today. Quick pause if you're enjoying the video, tap that like button and hit subscribe. It really helps us reach more great folks like you. Alright, back to it. Number 5. Beretta ARX100. Beretta built this rifle on a bold promise: a polymer piston-driven rifle that could swap barrels and calibers in seconds. Launched at $1,950, it flopped commercially, and retailers dumped it on clearance for $800 to $1,000. Discontinued status has bred collector interest, pushing used values back to $1,200 to $1,400. Shooting it is cheap. Standard 5.56 runs about 45 cents a round, and it takes ordinary AR-15 magazines. The real damage is what never showed up. Beretta marketed a toolless conversion to 300 blackout, but the kits never reached meaningful commercial numbers. The proprietary SBR barrel kit that once retailed near $500 is discontinued and now commands steep premiums when it even appears. Break a proprietary part today, and support is essentially non-existent. Beretta walked away from the platform. It features a quick-change barrel system using pull-down polymer tabs, clever engineering wasted on an abandoned ecosystem. Buyers who caught the clearance price own a reliable, appreciating rifle. It ranks 5th because Beretta sold a multi-caliber dream that never happened, leaving adopters holding a proprietary dead end. Our next entry made the same promise and broke it more expensively. Number 4. Colt LE901. Colt sold this as a 2-for-1 rifle, a heavy .308 that could convert to 5.56 in seconds. It launched at $2,129 with street prices near $1,900. Today, thanks to fanatic Colt collectors, it's nearly impossible to find. Completed sales run $2,800 to $3,500, nearly a 50% gain. Here's the catch behind that modularity promise: converting to 5.56 required a proprietary magwell adapter block, since the lower receiver is 1.3 inches longer than a standard AR-15s to fit the .308 magazine. Colt stopped making that block. Buy an LE901 without one today, and you're permanently locked out of the conversion Colt built its marketing around. Feeding the .308 runs 80 cents to $1 a round, about $90 for 100 rounds. Manageable. What isn't manageable is replacing a broken proprietary bolt carrier, firing pin, or buffer, a genuine scavenger hunt at collector prices, since Colt abandoned support for these parts. The Colt roll mark guarantees resale value no matter what. That's why it ranks 4th, a beautiful collectible that turns into an irreplaceable paperweight the moment something proprietary breaks and you try to actually use it. Number 3. Beretta M82A1. This is the most recognizable rifle in the world, chambered in 50 BMG and still in full production. Current retail sits between $9,500 and $9,820, and used examples rarely dip below $8,500. This rifle barely depreciates. Owning one means parking capital, not losing it. Ammunition is where the pain starts. Surplus rounds about $3 each. Match grade exceeds $5, so a modest 50-round session can cost $150 to $250. To actually hit anything at range, you need extreme duty optics and rings. Easily under $2,000 $2,000 to $3,000. Spare 10-round magazines alone run nearly $174 each. Here's the surprise: the massive recoil springs and muzzle brake absorb roughly 70% of felt recoil, making it more comfortable to shoot than you'd expect. That's not the problem. Finding somewhere to shoot is. Most indoor ranges and plenty of outdoor ones ban 50 BMG outright, and it's restricted by name in several states. It holds its value like a vault. That's exactly why it ranks third, a rock-solid asset that still traps thousands in optics, ammunition, and range access just to use it as intended. Number 2. Hudson H9. It blended a crisp 1911-style trigger with a modern striker-fired frame, and shooters love the flat-shooting feel of its low-bore axis. Launched at $1,147 MSRP, with street prices near $1,000, the H9 was the SHOT Show darling of 2017. 2 years later, Hudson Manufacturing filed for bankruptcy. That collapse is the entire financial story here. Court filings show the company carried between $10 million and $50 million in liabilities against under $15,000 in real assets. Quality control suffered badly near the end, with proprietary slide stops and strikers prone to breaking. Today, replacement parts are effectively non-existent. Buyers may assume the newer Daniel Defense H9 offers a fix. It doesn't. Daniel Defense re-engineered the pistol with a different aluminum frame, and none of its internals interchange with the original. If a part on your original Hudson snaps, there's nowhere left to turn. Used prices oddly have barely moved, around $800 to $1,000, kept afloat by curiosity and collector interest. But that stability hides the trap. Real value hits zero the moment something breaks. It ranks second because a $5 broken part can total a $1,000 pistol. Number 1. Remington Model 597 in 17 HMR. Remington took a rifle that worked fine in 22 LR and adapted it to fire the far hotter 17 HMR round. That decision created a catastrophic mismatch. It originally sold for around $250, with street prices near $220. Today, its used value is exactly zero, legally and functionally worthless. Here's why. A simple blowback action relies on bolt weight and spring tension to keep the breech closed. The bottlenecked 17 HMR round overwhelmed that design, and the bolt began moving backward while pressure was still dangerously high. Cases ruptured, the magazines blew apart, sending brass shrapnel out the ejection port. In 2009, Remington warned owners to stop firing the rifle. A 2012 recall followed, offering a modest voucher, around $200 to $250, good only toward another Remington firearm. There's no fix. No gunsmith can rewrite the physics of a bolt meeting a cartridge it was never built for. There's no fair counter-argument, and that's the point. This is the only entry with a total loss, a gun its own maker declared unsafe. It's the definitive number 1 money pit, the purchase that became a complete, irreversible loss. 10 guns, 10 ways to lose money, ammunition, broken parts, abandoned support, or a recall that ended a rifle's life entirely. Which one do you think is the biggest money pit? Is any gun here worth every dollar? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to Guns You Can't Live Without.